talk to you today about keeping warm in frigid temperatures. As you can see, we've got about 2 inches of snow on the ground and it's like 19 to 20 degrees. I'm filming this in my side yard because it basically looked like I wasn't going to be able to get out. So you might hear some road noise, but the roads are pretty bad, so there's not a lot of traffic today. So start out with wool is your best friend. I'm wearing this heavy wool blanket coat. It's actually a little bit later time period, not so much from the cut, but the cut does have something to do with it, but also the type of blanket it is. This is more something you would see like in the later Rocky Mountain fur trade or in the Canadian North, up in the northern tier. Down here in the south you wouldn't see a lot of these. Another blanket coat I have here that is a little more period correct for the 18th century. And this one is one made by Townsend's. The cut's a little bit different. And you can find patterns for like British military blanket coat patterns from the 18th century. There's a few out there. And you're basically just taking a blanket and cutting it into a large overcoat. This one doesn't button. It just slips on, but it's got the hood and it's got the 2 tassels on the back of the hood so you can actually tie it around your neck to close it at your neck. So I'm going to hang this back here. I'll just drop my hands. The other thing I want to talk about is hats. You could wear a knit hat like this one or a Monmouth cap. It's just basically a knitted, what they used to call Liberty caps. And it's pretty warm. The other 2 caps here are what's known as Canadian caps, and yes, I dropped that in the snow. This one is red wool with a linen lining, and it's got a mink fur base on it. And if it's really cold, you can flip this down over to cover your ears. I've noticed when I put it on earlier, the mink is starting to crack a little bit because the leather's dry on it. But I've had this one for a long time, and this is one that my friend Susie bought for me at an event year before last, and it's more of a wool felt with a thinner like pillow ticking lining with it's either raccoon or muskrat. No, I think that's muskrat fur. It's a little bit cruder and not as nice as this one here. And they call these Canadian caps because they were more commonly seen way far up. There are other types of hats, but I'm not going to go into everything because it's starting to get really cold out here. It's like 19 to 20 degrees. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, what I was mainly going to do the video on, and I thought, well, I'd bring up the blanket coats and stuff, and I should have put gloves on, but I can't hardly manipulate stuff. And underneath this blanket coat, I will go ahead and show you because I'm going to take it off. You know, especially like if you're just getting into the hobby and you haven't really got a full kit together, because, you know, I could have wore like one of my wool uniform coats, or I've got some linen and heavy canvas, just like gentlemen's coats or civilian coats. I do have a couple that are done in a lighter wool, but this wool blanket here, and it's got the tag still on it. This one was made in Enid, Ohio, but it's made from a horse rug blanket, which is very thick, heavy, very warm. It's got a lot of nap, so it retains your body heat well. I'm going to take this off. And underneath it I'm wearing, this is the green wool. See if I can do this without my chair flipping over because I want to grab this blanket. But, like I said, this is a green wool waistcoat, and I bought this one back in 2004. I've had it for quite a while. It was one of the first ones I bought when I started in the hobby. And it's a little bit big on me now because I was heavier. But anyway, I'm going to make what they call a match coat. And like I said, this is something soldiers did it a lot if you were out, because, you know, the soldiers only had what they could carry, so you would wear it over your other coat and stuff. But what you would do, and this is an old Swiss Army blanket, I would actually, if I was going to do this to wear it, I would get one of my heavier, because I have some blankets like this. I just didn't want to drag them out here in the snow. But basically, get where I can see it, because I'm trying to get it lined up, and this one actually has a cross on it. But you wrap the blanket around you, and then put a belt on, or you can tie it with a rope or anything else. But my fingers start to get really, really cold. Flip this back so I can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of struggling with my belt here. Here we go. And like I said, it's like 19, 20 degrees out here. But I knew if I had gloves on, I would not be able to fumble around with this belt, and I should have got a bit longer belt. This one I took in trade, and it fits me, but not with the extra bulk. There we go. I actually have the belt on wrong, but you pull this up, and then if you want a hood, if you don't want a hood, you can just around. And I am sorry, like I said, my hands are getting cold. And it usually helps if we have somebody to help you. But you could bring it here, and you can either hold it, you could put a blanket pin in it, or you could actually just take a sharpened stick and poke 2 holes in it and run it through there. And I don't really want to do that. But then you can, like I said, if you need to, you can pull it up over your head, and this blanket slid down, pull it up and blouse a little bit because it's too low to do what I want it to do. Like that. There we go. Then you can pull it around, like I said, you can pin it or whatever. It's not if this was a heavier blanket, it would be warmer, but it's not the best situation in the world. But it would help keep you from freezing, especially if you have another coat on underneath this. It will add layers, and it will help you keep from freezing to death. And like I said, this is something, usually I'm helping some new person put a coat on like this to wear it at an event when it's cold. Anyway, I hope you found this amusing, stumbling around trying to put this coat on, but it is what it is. Thank you. Have a good day.